Have you ever found yourself caught in a moment where anger suddenly takes over, and before you know it, you've said or done something you later regret? What if there was a way to break that chain, where instead of reacting blindly, you could pause, think, and choose your response? What difference would that make in your life, your relationships, and your peace of mind? Every day, we face situations that test us. Traffic jams, harsh words, unexpected problems. They all push buttons inside us. Most people react instinctively, driven by emotions that often control their actions. But what if we could train our minds to respond with calm and clarity, instead of reacting with chaos and regret? Here is a simple example. Imagine someone cuts you off while driving. Your first instinct might be to shout or make an angry gesture. But if you respond instead, you might simply take a deep breath and let it go, saving yourself unnecessary stress and conflict. This small moment of control builds a stronger, calmer mind over time. Welcome to Book Boost. If you want to learn how to master your mind and live a life free from the chaos of uncontrolled emotions, you're in the right place. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss the lessons that can truly change your life. The power to train your mind to respond instead of react comes from deep self-control. The Stoics believe that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When we realize this, we understand that the control lies within us, not outside. In the coming parts, we will explore how this ancient wisdom can help you conquer destructive emotions, build resilience, and transform your daily experience. It is not about denying feelings, but mastering them. The path is challenging, but with every moment you pause, you take a step closer to freedom. Please drop down your one thought on believe in yourself in the comments. Your voice matters here, and together, we grow stronger. We often think that our emotions just happen to us, like storms we cannot control. But what if I told you these emotions are not enemies? They are messengers. They speak to us, trying to tell us what we believe, what we value, and where our judgments lie. To master the mind is not to ignore these feelings, but to understand their meaning deeply. When anger rises, it is not the anger itself that is the root problem. It is the thought behind it. When fear grips us, it is not fear alone that weakens us, but the story we tell ourselves about what that fear means. Our emotions come from our judgments, and these judgments are within our power to change. Think about this. If a person insults you, is it the insult that hurts you, or is it your belief that the insult matters? The great Stoic Marcus Aurelius wrote that people cannot harm you unless you allow it. When you realize this, the power of your emotions shifts. You begin to see that your feelings are shaped by your own mind, not by external events. This is the beginning of overcoming the inner storm. It is natural to want to push away unpleasant emotions, to hide from pain or discomfort. But running from feelings only gives them more power. Instead, we must observe them as a careful gardener watches a growing plant, without judgment, with calm attention. We do not cut the plant down immediately. We wait, understanding when and how to prune it. The philosopher Seneca said that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This means many of our anxious feelings come from fears we build in our minds, not from what is truly happening. When we examine these fears closely, we often find they are not as terrible as we first believed. This awareness helps us weaken destructive emotions. But understanding alone is not enough. We must practice patience and discipline every day. Each time a negative emotion arises, we have the choice to either let it sweep us away or to catch ourselves and respond with reason. This is the training of the mind, the quiet work that builds unshakable strength. Imagine the mind as a garden. If you allow weeds, anger, jealousy, fear to grow unchecked, they will overrun the space and choke out peace and clarity. But if you tend the garden daily, pulling weeds and planting seeds of calm, wisdom, and understanding, your mind will flourish. This is not an easy path. The pull of instant reaction is strong. Our nature leans toward quick judgments and emotional outbursts because they feel like relief at the moment. But in truth, they chain us to suffering. Each uncontrolled reaction narrows our freedom. We must remind ourselves that pain and discomfort are inevitable parts of life. No one escapes them. But suffering is optional. How we respond to pain defines the quality of our life. When we respond with control, we reduce suffering. When we react with chaos, suffering grows. The Stoics teach us that we are not victims of fate, but co-creators of our experience. The external world will always be unpredictable and often unfair. But inside us is a fortress that no external force can destroy, a fortress built on reason and self-mastery. There is a story about Epictetus, once a slave who lived through hardship but taught that freedom is found in the mind. He said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." This means we train our minds to care deeply only about what we can govern, our own thoughts, judgments, and actions. Each time you feel the heat of anger or the chill of fear, pause and ask, is this belief true? Is this emotion serving my highest self? What can I learn from this feeling? In that pause lies power. Over time, with effort, that pause becomes longer, and the impulse to react grows weaker. You begin to live in a space of choice, where response is measured and intentional. This is the victory of reason over impulse. We are not born with this power fully formed. It grows slowly, like a tree from a tiny seed. Every moment you practice seeing emotions as messages and choosing your response, you water that seed. One day, you will find yourself standing calm amid storms, unshaken because you have trained your mind to respond, not react. Know this, the strength you seek is within you. The path is not easy, but it is certain. Destructive emotions lose their hold the more you watch them without surrendering. So, when you feel the storm rising inside, remember you are not alone. We walk this path together, learning to listen to our emotions, to understand them, and to choose the response that leads to peace and wisdom. This is the power of the Stoic mind, the power to transform chaos into calm, weakness into strength, and reaction into response. We stand at a crossroads every time life tests us. The moment when an event stirs our emotions, anger, fear, sadness, it calls for a choice. Do we surrender to the storm and react in haste? Or do we cultivate the strength to respond with calm and reason? This is the art that separates the restless from the wise. The Stoics taught us that within each of us lies a power far greater than any outside force, the power to choose how we respond. Consider this. Emotions are not enemies to be crushed or denied. They are messengers, signals from our mind and body telling us that something matters. Yet, when we allow these feelings to control our actions without pause, we become prisoners of chaos. A moment of anger can become a lifetime of regret. A rash word can sever bonds that took years to build. But the person who masters deliberate response, who learns to pause, reflect, and then act, wins the freedom to shape their life on their own terms. How do we reach this place? The answer lies in training the mind like a skilled athlete trains the body. Just as a muscle grows stronger with exercise, so too does our ability to respond grow stronger with practice. Marcus Aurelius, a great Stoic emperor, reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This power does not come from quick fixes or sudden inspiration. It emerges from steady, consistent effort. When you face a difficult moment, instead of reacting, ask yourself, what is within my control here? What choice do I truly have? This question pulls you back from the edge of emotional impulse. It reminds you that while you cannot always control what happens, you can control how you meet it. Let us not forget that nature herself teaches us this lesson. The calm sea after the storm is not because the wind has ceased, but because the waves have settled. Our mind must become that calm sea. In moments of inner turmoil, breathe deeply and observe your thoughts and feelings without rushing to act. This simple act of observation breaks the chain reaction of emotion and reaction. You might wonder, is it weakness to hold back emotions? Absolutely not. It takes immense courage to pause when the whole world urges us to explode. It takes true strength to face your feelings, understand their cause, and decide the best path forward. The Stoics call this virtue, excellence of character built on wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. Self-discipline is the cornerstone here. Without it, the mind remains a wild horse, dragged by every impulse. But with discipline, we guide our thoughts, actions, and emotions with steady hands. Seneca wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom, therefore, is not the absence of external constraints, but the mastery of inner passions. Imagine the freedom gained when you no longer live as a slave to sudden outbursts or destructive emotions. You hold the reins of your life. Challenges no longer shake your core. Criticism no longer wounds your spirit deeply. Losses do not drive you into despair. You have built a fortress inside, strong, unyielding, and peaceful. But building such strength is not about avoiding emotions or hiding from reality. It is about embracing life fully, with all its ups and downs, and responding wisely. When faced with injustice, you do not lash out blindly, but stand firm with reason and fairness. When confronted with failure, you learn and grow instead of falling into bitterness. When joy comes, you appreciate it deeply without becoming dependent on it. Every moment you choose response over reaction, you carve a little more of your true self. This is a gradual transformation, sometimes slow, sometimes painful, but always rewarding. Over time, you will notice that the very situations that once overwhelmed you now become opportunities for growth and calm action. Remember Epictetus, who taught that it is not events themselves, but our opinions about events, that disturb us. When you change your view, you change your experience. By practicing deliberate response, you reshape your perspective. Instead of being tossed by the waves of fortune, you become the captain of your ship. This mastery is not reserved for the few. It is available to everyone willing to commit. Each day brings chances to practice, to pause before speaking, to breathe before reacting, to reflect before judging. Each moment is a training ground where your mind can grow stronger. You will stumble. You will falter. This is natural. The path of the Stoic is not perfection, but progress. When you find yourself reacting hastily, do not condemn yourself. Recognize the moment, forgive your weakness, and resolve to do better next time. This very awareness is a victory in itself. Eventually, the habit of response will become your nature. Your inner dialogue will change from chaos to calm. You will notice a new peace that no external event can shake. This peace is not a denial of life's difficulties, but a triumph over them. It is the soul's victory. So we train. We pause. We breathe. We choose. In doing so, we reclaim the power that was always ours, the power to respond with wisdom, to act with courage, and to live with freedom. The mind that learns this art becomes unbreakable. And that, my friend, is the greatest victory any human can achieve. We have reached a moment where the lessons of control, calm, and careful choice must no longer be ideas only to think about, but forces that shape how we live every day. Living the Stoic way means embracing a life guided by wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, not as abstract ideals, but as daily practices that build true strength inside us. To live this way is to accept the truth that life will always bring trials. Difficult people, unfair events, pain, loss, these things are outside our control. The Stoics teach us that what we can control is ourselves, our thoughts, our choices, and our responses. This is where true freedom begins. If we grasp this, we are no longer prisoners of circumstance, but masters of our inner world. We must remember that life is not a smooth path, but a journey through storms and calm. It is not the storm itself that breaks the sailor, but how he adjusts his sails. In the same way, when hardship comes, our power lies in how we face it. Do we react in anger, fear, or despair? Or do we respond with reason, patience, and courage? The choice is ours every moment. To live as the Stoics advise means to practice self-discipline in all things. This is not punishment, but a way to clear the mind and strengthen the spirit. It means training ourselves to pause, to reflect before action, and to hold steady when emotions try to sweep us away. It means choosing what is right over what is easy or tempting. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, wrote in his meditations that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. These words remind us that strength is not found in wealth, fame, or even health, but in the mastery of our own minds. Living this way also means embracing humility. We must accept that we do not know everything, that we will make mistakes, and that growth is a lifelong process. Humility does not weaken us, it opens us to wisdom. It allows us to learn from others, to see our faults clearly, and to improve without pride blocking the way. The Stoic life is also a life of service. It calls us to act justly toward others, to care for our community, and to do what we can to make the world a better place. This is not done for reward or recognition, but because it is right. True happiness comes from living in harmony with nature and with those around us. When we choose to respond instead of react, we create space for these values to grow. That space is the quiet strength within, a place where reason guides us and emotions do not control us. It is a sanctuary where we can face life's challenges with calm and confidence. This transformation is not sudden. It happens slowly, moment by moment. Each time we resist the urge to lash out, to panic, or to despair, we build our inner fortress. Each time we pause, breathe, and choose wisely, we grow stronger. There will be times when emotions threaten to overwhelm us. Anger may rise like a fire. Fear may grip us like a cold hand. Sadness may cloud our vision. But the Stoic teaches us that these feelings are like waves. They come and go. They do not have to define us. We watch them without being swept away. The Stoics compared the mind to a garden. If we neglect it, weeds of anger, envy, and impatience take root. But if we tend it daily with care, planting seeds of patience, courage, and kindness, the garden flourishes. This care is the daily work of the Stoic. There is great power in knowing that no external event can force us to lose our peace unless we allow it. When we truly understand this, we no longer give our power away. Instead, we stand firm like a rock in a raging sea, unshaken by the waves. In living this way, we also learn the value of acceptance. Acceptance is not defeat, but wisdom. It is recognizing what cannot be changed and letting go of the struggle against it. This frees energy for what we can influence, our own thoughts and actions. We may face loss, failure, or rejection. These are painful, yes, but they do not destroy us unless we let them. Each challenge is an opportunity to practice the art of responding. Each obstacle is a chance to prove our strength. The path of the Stoic is not easy. It demands courage to look within honestly, to face discomfort, and to stand firm when the world pressures us to give in. But the reward is a life of true freedom, a life where we are no longer tossed by every wind of emotion, but steady, strong, and peaceful. Remember that every great Stoic began as a learner, just like us. Epictetus was once a slave, yet he became one of the greatest teachers of inner freedom. Seneca, a wealthy man, found true wealth only when he mastered his desires. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet remained humble and focused on his inner growth. We are part of this long tradition. We carry their wisdom in our hearts, ready to be applied in our modern lives. Each day offers a chance to practice, an opportunity to respond with calm when others react with rage, to act with wisdom when others rush blindly, to live with courage when fear threatens to freeze us. This is the transformation that Stoicism promises, a mind trained to respond, not react, a spirit that remains unshaken in the face of storms, a life lived with purpose, wisdom, and peace. So, let us commit to this path together. Let us build the strength inside that no outside force can break. Let us become the masters of ourselves, the calm in the chaos, the light in the darkness. This is living the Stoic way. This is true freedom.